To ensure that we will have quorum.
Nej, de skulle inte mer.
Hello.
I was in the middle of the video. Like, you know, just in the back of my head. Sorry.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
You find a nice place.
Exactly. Yeah.
Are you listening to me?
I'm Noah. I'm not sure the Noah. I'm Noah. Noah.
Anders.
Anders.
Yeah.
On m'entend ou on m'entend pas?
Party.
On m'entend pas. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Discourse.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, you
maybe.
wrote something about the strategy for small parties.
Yeah.
That was very well
La personne.
and I thought that was good perspective from the Danish party, the alternatives.
Okay.
So
do you feel related to the parents?
very much. I came in to the alternative actually with the former head of the Pirate Party in Denmark. I don't know if that name rings a bell. The pirates don't exist in Denmark at the moment. And I think some of them came over to the alternative, at least a lot of our IT politics and human digital rights and everything is very aligned with the pirates. And that's why we're here today.
Interesting.
We're mad about it.
Actually, there was an effort to start a Swedish version of the Danish alternative.
Yeah.
Maybe you might know that.
Yeah, I remember. With the demigods.
Yeah, don't you? Yeah, I was there. Contribute when it started.
Yeah, but it didn't go very
It
far.
lost some momentum.
Yeah.
There's so many new initiatives in Sweden. They have this Vändpunkt, which also is some sort of greenish. It's initiated by what's his name? Swedish youth parliament. Sort of a green person. He sort of initiated in the council. Too early.
Yeah.
But anyway, but then he dropped off. He left. And then sort of it faded out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Don't the Swedish Private Council still kind of have that position? At least for the alternative. I don't know how green the party was. I know you have a green party.
Yeah, I think that.
But it'll be more like classic socialist.
I know. I mean, if it's going to be compared to something, to be some kind of responsible libertarianism or something like that. It's not a thing that exists.
I don't know. I'm still looking.
Qui ont testé ça.
Ouais.
People call themselves mostly agree anyway.
Anti-policies. I like that a lot. There's also our approach to politics, not being like rooted in an ideology. I'm no one.
But there is a possibility of actually designing ideology just based on what you learn from that.
I'm sitting in this queue.
Yeah. I was sitting here first, and then I realized, wait.
Can we move it? Shows this chair. Yeah, no, it's good. I was just thinking like this. I need a laptop to float through PowerShell.
Yeah, because you asked, for example, about the green.
Sorry?
The greenness. And the greenness.
We have the camera here.
Yes,
so
I just moved it to point to the center because it was pointing to my ear.
yes, that's why we need to remove this seat. To let the camera on.
Okay, I see. So you want to block the seat? Which?
Yes.
Look it. Look now.
Thank you.
But where do you point it? It was pointed perfectly to the center.
To the table, no?
Yeah, but to the chair, right? The center table.
I'm trying.
I turned it to the center table. Now you turned it away.
No, that was pointing here. Look.
But now it's to
Yes.
make it horizontal. There's another camera now. No, it's this.
Tell me. Do you want to?
More horizontal, please.
Yeah, we can.
Nope. Okay.
Too much. Too much in that direction. Like that. Another one. Now it's good. Perfect.
Yeah, and then this is except that it's Midas is Yen is yes, just temporarily standing.
Yeah, but that's nice.
Yeah. Not a lot, but it's better than the previous election. Followed anything, but it's been now I'm trying to
Yeah.
politically, it wasn't great, to say the least. And then we got new political movement a few years ago. It's been around 1%, well, it's still down to 0. Come back here, gathering all the we ended up with one more last time. So we have a pretty good foundation to keep going.
Because you have some kind of support, like money.
Yes, that definitely helps. You've had MPs, right? And also we had the
No,
high threshold. Well,
yeah, 4%.
4%. So double.
Yeah. So it's tough. And also, of course, like most changes in the similar positions you have in media, where you sort of exclude stuff like our results in the last new election. much. We were counted. Sort of organization. They're very nice. They delivered this chart with the bars, different parties. We were in saying that the Swedish television took it out.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've experienced something similar as well for years. It's tough when the media don't actually recognize it.
Yeah.
Chairman. Hola.
Who is transparent?
Long table, that's good.
Ja, aber ich will mein
Wenn du Laptop gehst, dann am Tisch gehen so viel. Ich habe jetzt hier genau was eine
Ja,
Küche von Strom kann, aber
ja, aber ich habe noch später. Ja.
Okay, everybody, I would like to welcome you in the European Pirates Party Council Meeting 2024 in Strasbourg. I hope we are to be seen and heard here from Strasbourg, Strasbourg. I would like to first make the following. If there are no objections, I would like to ask you to approve the chairs as takers for the meeting. The chairs serving for this meeting, I propose me, Chloe Marie from French Pirates, and Anne Herpetz from German Pirates as alternating chairs for this meeting. Are there any objections or alternative proposals for that decision? Seems not to be the case. May I check whether the people who are connected online are able to actually reply or two speakers. Good. So hence I consider that to be approved and starting the sharing. I would like to check on the attendance. So which parties are actually present? But first we need the minute takers. So do we have the minute takers actually? One is me. You are that. That would be great. And the rest of the team was. Yes. Yeah. Yes, there are. So for the record, the proposed minute takers are Alexander Chofini from Pirati.io, Cedric Levier from French Pirates, and Vincent. Sorry. So please, from German Pirates. Are there any objections from this against the minute takers team proposed or alternative proposals? Okay, sounds there are no objections. So I consider the minute the group of minute takers to be approved. And I would like to ask you to record that into the minutes. Now, I would like to check the attendance in the meeting. So I will start reading the respective pirate parties as they are in the list. I would like to start with Pirate Party of Austria. Is there someone present from Pirate Party of Austria?
No.
I see no one from Pirate Party of Austria. I would like to ask the minute takers, please share the fact with the minutes, also to Jitsi and also to Mattermost. Czech Pirate Party. Present. Estonian Pirate Party.
Yes.
Present. Finnish Pirate Party.
Yes.
Perfect. French Pirate Party.
Yeah.
Perfect. German Pirate Party.
Yes.
Right. Greek Pirate Party. Pirate Party of Greece. The case. Icelandic Pirate Party. Is there anybody coming from Icelandic Pirates?
Yeah. He was here yesterday.
Not to be the case. Sorry?
He was here yesterday, at least.
But I don't think it was delegates. No, it was a
Okay,
member,
so far there is no delegate. Possibly there will be delegate coming later. Yes, the delegates for the conference shall be What?
It's a sign.
Yeah.
That's the second sign.
Yes, but I need the flag. Luxembourgish pirates. Perfect. Dutch pirates.
Yes.
Perfect. Norwegian pirates. Seems not to be the case. Polish pirates. Is there anyone from Poland? We were here yesterday, but seems not to be the case so far. Catalonian pirates. Not the case. Confederación Pirata from Spain. Not the case. Swedish Pirates. Perfect. Swiss Pirates. Not the case. Slovenian Pirates. Yes. And Slovak Pirates. Anybody to represent part of Slovakia? Not the case. Okay. Now, please check on the membership fees page, which I will probably send to once again to the materials, whether you have paid for 2022 to be entitled to vote, because otherwise you are, according to statutes, losing the rights to participate, to vote. So I sent the link for membership fees to Metropolitan Channel Council Meeting. If you have not yet paid, you still may do so online and provide us with confirmation of payment. Either can be done via your bank instantly, or if you provide us with a confirmation of payment that was already sent out and will be received later, we also accept it. Is there any party who would like to ask for delaying their annual contribution according to Article 13, Paragraph 7 of the statutes? Is there anyone who has not paid and would like to ask for delaying of the contribution according to statutes?
I cannot see yet if it is paid or not. I think it is. I need to have a look first.
Pirate Party of Netherlands has, according to Wiki, not paid.
Aha.
And according to the transparent account, there is no payment so far.
So how would you like me to do this to be able to join?
There are two options. Either use do the payment from your bank directly and provide us with a verification coming from your internet banking now, or you find someone who has an account with your banca and can do that within the bank instantly, so it will appear on the transparent account for everybody. The preferred solution is the later one because it's instant confirmation. But if you provide us with a confirmation of the payment coming from your bank on the email of the board, we will accept it as well.
Can I pay with cash?
So, is there anyone? Then I can do that.
Yes.
And I would like to transfer the chairing for a while for doing this. Sorry for delaying that. Yeah. Sorry, can you please take over? Sorry for delaying that, but we will have a motion on the statutes change, and we need the quorum. Yeah.
So,
think it's okay. Okay, you hear me correctly? So I have to check all the name of all the parents present, the delegation present, so please tell me. For Luxembourg, who is present, what is your name, please?
And Germany, Koya.
It's in the wiki. Okay.
It's in the wiki.
May I ask, sorry to interrupt the chair. May I ask you to write your exact name in the minute? So, because it will be easier for us, right? If you have this possibility, otherwise we will do it. Posted the minute link in the MetaMask channel. Thank you.
Okay, so for the record, Swedish is delegated. I don't know, there is an issue, I don't know where it comes from. I'm sorry. So for the record, Luxembourg is Carol Weger and Jerry Breyer. Swedish is Katarina Stensen. Estonia is Mart Foder. I'm sorry if I don't spell it correctly. Finland is Pekka Mustonen. There is an echo. Okay. Germany is Anna Hertz. And I miss Netherlands. And German Gregory Engels also. French, it's Florian. Hello, Florian. Please say it. We write it. Czechia is my Michal Gilles. Pronounce it correctly, no? And Raman Roja. I'm doing this someone. And Daniel Monch for Germany. And Slovenian Petra K. Okay. Have the name.
Kovacic.
Okay. Sorry, Petra. And also Germany, we have also Mia. Then we can start. Yes? Do you want to put that on the chair?
We want to check first what are the total amount of votes we have among the present among the delegates here, and verify so maybe
So you can have the names of the Netherlands?
No,
There are four of us. Danny, Bernard. W-I-E-T-Z-E. It's a Frans.
all the people who are here are just delegates. Just delegates.
And there are two more present. Each is W-I-E-T-Z-E. And Bransma is B-R-A-N-D-S-M-A. Bransma. No, B-R-A-N-D-S-M-A.
a bit of like pop-up coming from me. So is an MEP delegation present? It is, apparently. And are the Young Pirates of Europe present?
Yes.
Okay. So the names of the delegate would be Samuel Vancha for the MEPs. Probably not on your keyboard.
Yes.
And Šárka Václavíková for the Young Pirates. So that's it. So I would ask the meeting takers to actually calculate the numbers of the votes we have present. And meanwhile, we can go to the first point, which is the draft agenda. So you have all received the proposal on the main agenda coming from the board. You might find it on the wiki as well, and I will repost it to the council meeting channel in the Mattermost. This is a proposal coming from the board. I would like to ask you, are there any alternative proposals or proposals for amendments to this proposed agenda as it is currently in our wiki?
Sure.
If there are no alternative proposals, amendments, or changes to the agenda, so I would like to put the agenda to the vote if we may do so. So this will be the first exercise of vote today. Hope that you are ready because there will be more of them later on. So with that, I would like to put the motion of to approve this agenda to the. So are we ready to actually start counting the votes?
1 second, please.
Yep. Okay. So please, short break or starting our voting machine. It's in the most. So just like the council meeting. Just this. Okay. Yeah.
Ja, dus het staat nu bijgebruikt op de wiki.
Oké.
Dat is 2000.
Because there's a link to a spreadsheet in the minutes.
Thank you. Okay. So thank you very much for providing me with the overview of the delegates and number of the votes. Now I see we are 20 votes distributed among the delegates altogether, and I would like to start the vote on the agenda, reading the delegates alphabetically, starting as the Czech Pirate Party is the first present one. So do you support the motion to approve this agenda?
All votes in.
So 6 votes in favor. Pirate Party of Estonia. Matt, do you support the motion? Estonia has not paid. Okay, then we have only 19 votes, and unfortunately, Pirate Party of Estonia is not entitled to vote. So, Pirate Party of Finland.
Yes.
Thank you. Pirate Party of France.
Yes.
Thank you. Pirate Party of Germany. So yes. Pirate Party of Luxembourg.
Yeah.
Pirate Party of the Netherlands.
Yes.
Pirate Party of Sweden.
Yes.
Pirate Party of Slovenia.
Yes.
Young Pirates of Europe.
Yes.
MEPs.
Yes.
Okay. Please count the votes, but I guess if I'm counting correctly, it's 19 votes in favor, no votes against, no votes abstained, which means the agenda is approved as it stays. And with that, I believe we are finished with the first point of the agenda, as we have covered opening and meeting of the registration, welcoming remark from the European Pirate Party Chair, election of meeting chairs and minute takers, and approval of the agenda. And we can safely come to the first point on the agenda, which is approval of new members. And there is one application coming from Pirati from Italy to become full member of the association. Pirati is already an observer member. So I would like to ask the representatives of Pirati to shortly introduce us their organization and the application. You will have to go over there. Okay.
Hello. So I'm representing the Pirati Association from Italy. We are already an observer member in the European Pirate Party. Due to, in these years, basically our association began to change a bit its point of existence from being just an aggregator. And we recently did the status change that basically allow that basically allows us to take part in the elections according to the Italian law, for which basically parties and associations that have stated in the statutes that they have a political aim and wish to participate in elections. So, since right now we change the thing from usually okay, including the political situation in Italy, we would like
stopping all the other microphones. It's the TV, I see.
This is behind the microphone. It's the same microphone.
I will keep it short, so we will ask for become a full member of the European Fire Party. Thank you.
Are there any questions for the applicants? Seems not to be the case neither in the assembly nor online. So I would like to put to the motion European Pirates Party admits Piracy.io as a full member of the association. I love the funny sounds.
Alors, le numérique responsable, pour l'exemple, de la sécurité conscience, du...
Use microphones for anybody who is not supposed So let's vote on the motion. I would start alphabetically as in the previous case with the Czech Pirate Party.
Yes.
Estonian, sorry.
Sorry, for the record, this means 6 votes, yes.
6 votes, yes. That's the actual number of votes you are entitled to vote. Finland.
Yes.
France.
Yes.
Germany.
Yes, 2 votes.
Luxembourg. Netherlands. Sweden.
Yes.
Slovenia.
Yes.
Slovakia. Young Pirates of Europe.
2 votes in favor.
MEPs. Okay. So meanwhile, Poland become president. So I would like you to record. Sorry, could you please repeat your name for as a delegate?
Janusz.
Janusz.
I said
Exactly.
and 2 votes.
Not sure, 1 vote, but you have faith.
The Netherlands voted 2 votes yes, but they only have 1 vote by statute, right?
Yes, they have 2 delegates, but 1 vote. So, sorry? Poland paid. There is on transparent account yesterday. Yes, okay. Good job. It's not automatic. Anyway, with that, I believe we have currently 20 votes present. And out of those 20 votes, there were 20 in favor, 0 against, 0 abstentions, which means the motion passed. And I welcome Pirati.io as new full member of the association. Congratulations. With that, I would like to go to the next point on the agenda, which are the reports and discharge. So I would like to start according to the agenda with the report coming from the Code of Conduct Council. So I would like to ask representatives of Code of Conduct Council when they could provide a report.
Okay. Hello again. So, we've been, the Council of the Code of Conduct was elected in December, so we didn't have much time. And we don't have a full report, but anyway, we would like to give a declaration regarding some recent events. My colleague Seira will.
Well, we only want to give a few words, few advice. I hope you can hear me well, everyone. Dear boards, dear pirates, first of all, we would like to thank you for the great offer you all provide to the party and to each other. However, unfortunately, we have recently discovered some negativity among some board members, and we have heard some toxic words that, although not meant deliberately, can cause severe harm to each other and also to the party. We haven't received any complaints so far, but nonetheless, for the sake of the party and each other, we felt obliged to examine the case. And although we didn't have enough time to open a full investigation, we hope that the next iteration of the Council of Code of Conduct will take a deeper look at this matter. Well, we will not spend more time or words on this, but we would like to advise you, pirates, and board,
This is
to
to
carefully
turn on
think
this
about your
special
actions
fucking
and your words against each other,
people
and
thing.
also against those who vote for
Can you
representatives of the European Pirate
can
Party.
you
Each of
can
you
you
are great
unlock your phone,
and
please?
can achieve great things.
This is a special this green thing. It's something for handicapped people, right? It's the way you're turning it off. You should press some buttons in some way.
Okay. I know. How I can do this.
I would like to go for the next point on the agenda, approval of 2020 annual accounts.
Forget you have your
Yeah, well, what should I do here now? Try to start opening it?
Donc la problématique, certains élus pirates
No, it's about committing.
mais c'est pas un défaut, c'est pas. Ouais, non, mais c'est pas un défaut, on l'a dit juste avant. L'outil numérique ne doit pas être la solution à tout bon.
Bastien,
You can ask for her to do it.
annual accounts.
Effectivement, c'est une question qu'on se pose aujourd'hui. Comment est-ce qu'on peut réussir au sein du parti maintenant qu'on a des élus, à travailler ensemble, à faire quelque chose ensemble. Donc on le fait un petit peu, donc un peu lui-même, mais avec la collaboration etc. Là, avec les milliards sur le terrain, il y a quelque chose d'informel. Et la réflexion, comment on fait les gens qui travaillent, ça aussi.
I look at you.
Does this work?
Yeah, it's fine.
So basically, I'm just inform you, maybe for those who couldn't be present at last one, the one that I prepared just. It's the board duty to propose to this council and to all the party members Basically two things regarding financial reports. The one is the 2022 budget report, because actually 2022 year is not finished, and 2023, let's say provisional budget, the budget for the incoming year, even though it's April, but a budget should be approved. This means that, for instance, if we're not, if this council, if all the party members will not approve any budget today, any elected board cannot spend single money.
The two button of volume
And then
and
so
quest.
basically you inspect. Moreover, in the last
The
board
button,
meeting,
the two parts of the
proposal
button. The up and up volume and
common result.
look at my phone.
That's why today the board is presenting
So I'm gonna press
And
on both sides.
wait.
for 2023
Yeah.
approved by the board.
And don't want on my phone,
Yeah.
but
Neither
the two yes,
to
and press.
present
Yeah.
2023.
And then it will turn off. Okay, thank you.
No problem.
But it's just one
It's,
button. But it's
it's,
the two sides.
Two side,
Yeah.
and it's the second time for me, and I remember the first time I try everything.
Proposing a budget to this council.
Yeah. So now I have to turn off this meeting here.
Yes.
From the board, for board perspective, not completely, not 100% complete.
You want to stop the meeting?
Yeah.
To put the situation here. So basically, what happened? I'm just referring facts, so maybe can correct me. What happened is that for many reasons we cannot act. Our treasurer cannot really act as treasurer spending the money because he doesn't have the power of actually moving money from the PPEU bank account. This happened also years before, and also the year the previous one. So basically, all the money that are there are just except for some little movement that you can see in the transparent account remains there. And this is one of the main reasons why we cannot even propose any budget, because of course a budget is supposed to be that we are allocating resources and then we use the resources, right? And we did not. So if you see, we just collected some fees of today more because of the great empowering action of our chair. But anyway, I think that the discussion is now open in the sense that, of course, I strongly suggest that we came out today all together, at least with ideas, and at least with a proposal for the budget for 2023. Otherwise, the board will be completely blocked, right? And the proposal could be every proposal, meaning that we could also say, okay, we will don't want to have anything spending just elective fees for this year and move forward. I don't know, it's really up to this, but what was the intention of the last board meeting was that we would like to be every one of you aware of the situation. Because, and this is also, now I'm talking personally, I think that it seems, from my point of view, that there is a lack, not of communication, but a lack of you see, a sort of distances between all members and the board. I'm not blaming everyone, literally. We are doing a great job. I'm very happy that we are all here today. But still, we did this just at least to pose a critical question. So now budget is the question. We should, let's say, somehow approve, or also for legal reasons, a kind of budget for 2022, because otherwise we will have lack of budget in you know that budgeting has to be continuous, right, during solar years, and also to have a proposal for 2023. The problem with budget report for 2022 is that we have basically a lack of all the invoices sent and all the invoices received. Without this basic information, we couldn't actually match the spending that are coming out from our transparent bank account with the incoming that are coming from all the banks. That's the situation.
Thank you. Are there questions, comments, or proposals regarding the annual accounts approval for 2022 coming up from the members?
There's a hand raising from Bastian.
So I would like to go to Bastian.
Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Very good. All the luck to the council meeting today. Just a little bit confused. We had several voices on the Mattermost, and it was extremely complicated to follow you. Now the mics are closed, so you have only one mic. And I'm confused again about there's now no board reports. I listened now the report of Alessandro, and I will shorten my report to the necessary things. At first of all, yeah, I do a lot of things for the technical thing aside, and that's it. You can follow it in the PPEU wiki, so there we have a dashboard and so on. And I think I have to clear the situation a little bit. It's not true what Alessandro said. Because as a treasurer, I tried to find out what happened in the past since 2014, the founding meeting in Brussels. I have not seen any single bank document since we opened our account with PPEU Banker, and neither the account documents nor the powers of attorney and nor the bank statements. And to have a bank statement is important for a treasurer, I think. The only source is in the internet, where I stored the bookings for only 1 year about. So if you will have a look to our transparent bank account, you find nothing prior to March 2022. Nevertheless, I have identified our financial entries and published it in our wiki. That's the first time that we have transparent finances in our wiki. My query for PPEU Banker was successful because I'm not registered as a treasurer and so representative of the board. That was, of course, the case when the account was opened, but in 2018, where the account was opened, was also the treasurer. So the PPEU data is very outdated in the RCS registration office in Luxembourg, and I promised in the board meeting on March 3rd that I take over this important task and send the registration documents to RCS to get a new legal status from 2019 on. So I'm very optimistic that we get a new role from the RCS in the near future. At the last board meeting on 29th of March, I presented a budget for 2023. It was delayed because the original council meeting was planned for December, and we have to vote about a budget for 2023 and 2022, of course. But now it's a meeting where you can do that. No one wanted to discuss it, so we have no proposal for the council meeting. But it's not my fault. I did my duty, and I think you can vote on that budget I presented. Neither if you have access in person to the bank account, because we have one person who has access, but you can fulfill your financial duties. It's not true that it's blocked. So if I'm correct, on April 14, we have outstanding dues about 4,750 euros, maybe some less since the last payments I see in the wiki. Even for 2022, we have still 800 euros outstanding fees. That's a problem we have to discuss. I personally intended 16 out of 17 board meetings, and the board reports were unfortunately cancelled, but my reports you can find in the minutes under AOB. Some last sentence. My work on the board was often blocked by some colleagues, and I hope the next treasurer will have more support from the whole board and will have access to our bank account. It's not that rocket science. It's just to go to Prague and sign some documents. In this sense, allow me to say some words to conclude. I have been in this moment a movement for a better Europe for about 10 years, like Matthias Bianhelm. But the last year has not been nice. I have really seen so much hate. And as you could see, our code of conduct was worth nothing. So remember the great Leonard Cohen interpreted a special song with Everybody Knows. A special song is the crisis, the circumstances we have in the PPEU now. Maybe we can change it for the future. I will leave this movement and I wish you all the best for the future. Thank you for listening.
I would like to transfer the chairing to Flori because I would like to take part in the discussion.
Thank you. I won't take part on this discussion. Thank you, Nicolas. Thank you, Bastian. Is there any speak? Yes.
Yeah. I have to admit I'm personally to a high degree responsible for the situation that occurred because the procedure as it was supposed to happen, which means to change the report in the let's say register, followed by changing the respective record into a banca becomes quite tricky. And despite I repeatedly tried to make it happen, I was not able to finalize it properly with all the translations and especially with the verification of the identity for the board members within the bank, which becomes currently the biggest obstacle in my view, because probably could lead to the situation that all the board members will be forced to come to Prague to actually sign some documents, which is bloody tricky and I'm not really happy about. So I was trying to find a solution, and certainly this is something that has to be resolved for the future. We certainly need better, let's say, processing of this administrative task. And I have to admit that I should have dedicated more time to finalize it, because it certainly become more tricky for than expected. Probably it's not a good idea that an MEP is doing that job. With that, I would suggest for the discharge of 2022 for the PPEU not to be approved, because this situation is really very bad. And I see it as the first task for the newly elected boards to actually correct the situation, provide proper accesses in both like the Luxembourg Business Chamber as well as the bank to the respective representatives, and provide the council with all the respective information regarding invoices and the other stuff. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicolas. Is there any other person who wants to talk about this situation? I see no hand. Yes. Alessandro?
Yes, thank you. So, if I correctly understood, English, you would like that today we just not approve any budget for 2022, and this will be the task for the board, for the next board to solve this issue temporarily, and it will be approved to the next council meeting. Am I correct, or am I understood something?
I actually believe that the last council of 2021 approved the budget for 2022. So we actually had a budget for 2022, but I personally do not feel it that way, that we may approve a discharge for 2022. So the way how the money was spent in 2022, because we have not provided overview of all the invoices, at least now none of us is willing to say that they are corresponding. You have seen Bastian, he reported that he is able to check only on records since March of the last year, and there were discussions about like the list of invoices. So I believe we need to provide a complete list of payments, complete list of invoices, and provide it to the next council either online or offline, but we can't do it today now. This is not acceptable.
Okay, so I correctly understood. And what about, if I have a question, what about the budget for 2023?
I believe we may discuss the budget for 2023. It would be for certain reasons reasonable, but I feel myself not in the position to say to the council, we want to approve this budget as we have been not able to approve discharge 2023. If the council still believes that we need budget 2023 despite it was not provided with discharge, I would be very grateful for that, but humbly speaking, I would absolutely understand if anyone says this is not acceptable. Thank you.
Okay, then nobody wants to talk. Someone? Nobody? Okay, so we are voting on the budget. The next one, okay.
Approval of the council discharge. So I would put this motion to discharge and all the next board will provide all the financial information. Shall I take it?
Yeah.
So I propose the following motion to the council. Council of the European Party does not grant discharge for 2022 budget spendings. Point 2, Council of the European Party orders the board to provide full and complete financial information for 2022 till the time of the next council.
Does anyone object to this proposition? I see no objection. So we are going to the next one, maybe? Oh, we should vote on that. Okay, so we will vote on that. Please, we're taking the vote for AP delegates.
Yeah, the best.
Yeah. Okay. So Czechian,
6 votes yes.
Finland,
1 vote yes.
French,
We vote yes, do not approve with discharge.
Agree, yes.
1 vote yes. So German, yes. Luxembourg, yes. Swedish, yes. Slovenian, yes. Young parrots, yes. MEPs. Thank you.
Poland again?
Yeah.
Poland, okay, so I don't have on my list.
Yes.
So Poland. So, yes. So the motion is adopted. I'm going to take the chair back. Okay.
Thank you. And with that, I will consider point reports and discharge finished, and I will go to the next point on the agenda, which are the finances, starting with the decision on membership fees for 2023. As you know, this is something we should have agreed before organizing the budget. The current situation is that the membership fee, the base membership fee, is €50. As you know, it is multiplied by the number of votes that the party is entitled within the council. As you know, this number of votes corresponds to the results from the party accordingly, which is in the statutes described to be precise. Well, I think it's in the chapter council how to attribute the votes. So you may consult it there. So that's the baseline for discussion. And as you know, according to statutes, unless we decide to change the membership fee, we will refer back to the previous number. So even for 2023, it would be the €50 as before. So with that, I'm opening the discussion. Are there any proposals regarding the membership fees or comments of anything you'd like to discuss?
Yeah, maybe.
Florian, please.
I've been here only recently, but I think there have been a lot of troubles around fees. And in spite of the current situation, maybe suspending fees for the moment until a formal discharge and the complete report is established would be sensible, as well as maybe waiving all past fees, like basically cancelling them. So there is no ongoing disputes moving forward. I'm just throwing this out there. You don't have to necessarily act in this now, but yeah.
Okay. Any more questions? Yes, Alexander.
I got your point that this is of course a sensitive fee, but in my opinion, the problem is that our current status binds the voting right to the fee payment, right? So if we just say suspend in somehow the payment of the fee, this means in my interpretation is that we basically cannot determine who has the right voting rights or not. So we could decide to temporarily have this for 2023 based on the current situation or the current even to drop the fee to zero, for instance, for this year and then to the next one. So everyone is automatically has the voting rights for this year only. But I think that it's not a good idea to completely suspend it, because suspended is for how long we should determine for how long suspend it. And for instance, until the next council meeting. But what happens if in the next council meeting we do not agree on something? So before suspending, I would prefer or to leave it as it is, because €50 is, in my opinion, not that much, or to drop it to zero for this year. This is something we can do actually. Thank you.
Just procedure, if I may comment on that, 2023 membership fee shall be only on due in 2024, if I'm not mistaken. Okay.
It should be the other way around.
Yeah, I think that should be collected as soon as this council meeting is over.
Yeah. But anyway, the discharge shall be granted ideally at the next council meeting, which shall happen online, let's say in 2-3 months, because we will need to approve the Common European Election Program
as soon as possible.
So as soon as possible, we technically should have like two months to finalize that, and I believe we will do. We have to. Sorry, Martin.
I know we were late with paying, but we would really like to vote as well. And we weren't able to vote in the last vote round. as you can see in the minutes. In the minutes.
Now we are talking about the membership fees 2023 officially. Yeah, so that's where we are, I think, officially according to the agenda.
What? I don't understand.
Yesterday, whether or not we had paid, and they told us that we had paid multiple times.
Oh, wait a second.
We asked it yesterday to the member. Now, yesterday, downstairs, 3 of us, we were talking about numbers, and we just
I see. I deeply apologize for confusing Flori with the wrong list. So could you please maybe for the record cast the vote?
Yes, we agree with the proposed way of handling.
Thank you very much. I guess the result is not changed, but yes, it's embarrassing. Sorry for that.
We would like to say something
yes,
on
please.
behalf of the Dutch.
Because yesterday we asked a board member if we had paid multiple times, and we were confirmed that we did. And this morning we heard from you that we didn't, so now we paid in cash.
Well, in fact, we are disinformed because yesterday we have asked for it, and it was told that the Netherlands had paid for this year. So otherwise, we had arranged this yesterday. So, well, now we have a problem because we are misinformed. That's the main point we are trying to make.
But thank you that
So
we
it
can
isn't
join.
our fault, but
It doesn't matter whose fault it is. Thank you.
We paid 2 last week.
I'm sorry for that. I'm not sure which board member you have contacted. Officially, the respective person responsible for verification of these things is the treasurer, and the treasurer provided a wiki page where you have been recorded as not paying. And as you know from our transparent account, there was until today no payment coming. So if you have sent it on late date, it probably had not been received, and probably we would have needed the, let's say, not confirmation, verify that you have paid. So sorry for that. Any more questions, comments, or proposals regarding the membership fees 2023?
I'm very hopeful for the next board.
Okay, see no comments coming from the room. Florian, may I maybe ask you, Florian, may I maybe ask you to verify, was your comment at the beginning intended as a proposal for the motion, or rather like a contribution to the discussion?
So we have had 2 things in mind. First, fees have been a problem in the past. We had 2 comments, eventually to be discussed and proposed as a motion. But first, fees have been a problem for a long time, especially arrears. It's a correct word, yeah. So people not paying, and the association basically asking people to pay late fees. So the first point is waiving of late fees, completely pardoning them so we can go from a clean state. And the second comment was about this exceptional situation in which there are troubles to be solved. And I felt like it could be justified to suspend fees for a while until it is resolved. But as Alessandro discussed, yeah, this has implications in regards to the voting powers. And so that's not necessarily the best way to handle it. leveling them to zero until this result is more appropriate. I'm throwing this here and now for us to discuss if you consider it to be interesting.
Okay, thank you. So I take it as so far no formal proposal yet tabled.
Not yet.
Just contribution to discussion.
Yeah.
And we are continuing the discussion. So anyone wants to comment on this?
In case it would be a formal proposal, you would propose that every fee from 2021 and back would be dismissed completely. Okay. Not this year, because this year is important. For
Yeah.
Yeah.
It will be a separate proposal for this year.
Thank you.
My idea would be if there's a statute problem with fees, that we don't reduce it to zero for this year, but we say it's a symbolic euro. That could be a possibility. Then we have a statute, you can say you have paid, and then you can vote, and we don't have to this big amount of money that we would otherwise have if everyone would pay 50 euros. I'm sorry, I'm from the Luxembourg Parliament.
And the idea would be to get everyone to the table to sort things out.
Yeah.
Basically.
I agree with your idea to waive the former fees, but for this year, since Alessandro said that it could be a form of statute to just ask no money, that we say it's a symbolic euro.
Yeah, two separate propositions. As
Exactly.
Michal
Yes.
told us.
Thank you. Any more questions, comments, or proposals? I hope the people online can hear us and participate in the discussion. So it seems there are no more questions, comments, and so far no proposals. So do I understand correctly? You want to table some proposal?
I think I might, in spite of this, yeah, actually.
So I do or don't.
I will do. I will do it. Yeah, let's go. So, the first motion I would like to submit is the waiving or late fees from the previous years. So yeah, it's basically that we are following everything that happened in the past up until today.
So for me to clarify, we are talking about unpaid membership fees from 2025, 2021 and previous years to be waived.
Yeah, correct. Because as it is now, as soon as this consent meeting is resolved, the 2022 exercise fees, I'm giving you the rights to vote today.
I see hands. Yep, sorry.
Someone wants to intervene.
I see hand raised in the GC, but I can't verify who is that, so please speak.
Yes, it's me. Sorry, guys, you can't waive this money because it's illegal. In this case, you have to pay back all the paid money. You cannot say the members who did not fulfill their duties are the good guys, and the members who paid their fees are the bad guys. That's impossible, and it's definitely illegal. Thank you.
I see hand raising from Mark Anthony and hand raising from Matthias Bernemann.
But this guy was first.
Okay, Mark, please speak. Just for clarification, on behalf of which member of the European Party are you applying for speaking in the council?
I'm not speaking on behalf of any member. I'm speaking on behalf of the helper for the board. It's one of my main goals, if that's okay.
I am not
Yes.
sure whether I'm allowed according to the statutes to speak. Unless any member party will second that.
I will.
Second, that's just
Yes.
okay. Sure. I didn't know that we were that strict with who gets to speak, but that's an interesting change. Two things. I'm not an expert on Luxembourg association law, but I'm pretty sure that you can decide what you want on membership fees and it will not be legal. Secondly, you might want to consider that later on today there is a proposal to change the statutes. To be able to do that, you need to have majority of the voting members present. So if you do waive the fees, and that means that suddenly all members are allowed to vote, that would change the numbers of members who needs to be present to be able to vote on that statute change. That statute change was postponed from last meeting because we couldn't fulfill that quorum. So you might want to consider that if you go ahead and waive the statute, the fees, it might have an impact on whether we can change the statutes or not today. I haven't done the math in my head, but you might want to do the calculations.
Just if I may correct the question, do I understand it that way, that if those members who are yet not allowed to vote because they have not paid, and we will allow them by granting fees, then the quorum would suddenly rise, and I see. So it will be very tricky to actually approve the statute change. Yes. Okay. So maybe you should say that on mic, but there was a hand raised from anyone. Yeah. So who is next in the speaking list?
Mark?
Yeah. Mark. Yes. 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 Please, for you to be heard in the online as well.
I apologize to the people in GT because we have some issues with the sound and we listen to the micro of the camera here. So I asked to Mark to move in order to not listen to him. Yeah. It will be solved this afternoon. We'll solve it.
So I would like to propose a vote for the members that have voting rights to waive voting fee. So the other members, states that are here, can vote as well, and the statutes change. Can we do that? Is that possible? I think there is actually paragraph I've referred at the beginning, which membership fees. Article 13, paragraph 7 of the statute says literally, members must pay their annual contribution within 3 months after invoicing. On request of the concerned ordinary member party, the council may allow them, under special circumstances, with a two-thirds majority of the votes cast, to delay their annual contribution for up to 1 year or relieve them of the payment or a part of it. The member party concerned may not vote on such a decision. This is what is written in the statutes, and I guess that describes the procedure. So effectively, should we follow this particular paragraph, we need the respective parties to individually apply for waiving that. It's only possible for 1 year. And probably when it comes to Florian's request, we should kind of like
verify what is the legal base for waiving the fees further on, because this paragraph seems not to be allowing that. Then I have seen you and Mia.
Thank you. I'm Jerry from Pirate Party Luxembourg. Just a few comments. So, as the Pirate Party Europe is an organization registered in Luxembourg, you can just decide on membership fees however you want. So, we as the highest council of the organization, we can either waive every fee, we can create new fees, we can change the amount however we want, because we are the largest body of the organization. So if we want to waive fees, well, I'm not a lawyer, even if I studied there, I'm not a lawyer, but we have the Luxembourg Pirate Party is the same kind of organization. We Pirate Party, we have members that we pay, we can, if we want to waive those membership fees or not, that's not a legal issue. So it's just a decision that we have to take, and we can discuss about it, but I don't think it's going to be a legal issue. Whether some participate or not, really that doesn't matter. If we accept that, then it's okay. Now, just coming back to what Marp said, also concerning the comment from before, if we waive the membership fees now, then we have a problem with the quorum later on to vote on the statute changes, because then every member that's not here also counts for the quorum. So then we have a problem voting on the statute. So to get out of that problem, that's just a suggestion. We might follow up with the initial proposal and just say that from tomorrow on, membership fees are waived. We don't charge the quorum for our meeting today. Every member party that is here but doesn't have the right to vote can still participate in discussions of our statute change, so they are being heard. We let them speak, even though if they are not allowed to vote. And then we give ourselves the responsibility to take their considerations into account. So those members that are allowed to vote consider the opinions of those that are not allowed to vote. Then we can keep the quorum, vote on the statute changes. I'm not even sure if they are that controversial. So if we even all agree on them anyway, it doesn't matter whether we allow all present members to vote or not. But we can do it if we waive all fees now. We have a higher quorum, and it might not even be possible to vote on anything. So that's just a practical consideration to consider. And for the rest, I don't think there's any legal consideration to consider about waiving fees. Thank you.
Okay, yeah.
I just have a technical remark question. I'm sorry for this highly hot issue. I have to say.
Wait a second.
I
The microphone.
guess the micro is not working.
It is working for the stream.
Excuse me?
The micro is working for the stream.
Yeah, but it's really not very good to hear you. So you should speak louder, or we need some help.
Generally, please, when you are talking to the people in the room, speak loudly. And when you are talking to the people online, speak to the microphone.
Yeah, and I have no bad hearing. You know, my ear doctor said I have the absolute hearing, so it's not really. Okay, but does that help?
Yes, actually, if you speak close to the microphone, it's amplification works.
Closer.
Closer.
Good. Thank you.
Okay, further questions, comments, and so on regarding the membership fees? Malcolm?
Microphone.
So first of all, if my interpretation of this
You are a rock star.
Okay, if my interpretation of the statutes are correct, we as Pirati don't have the right to vote, but we have the right to speak. So I guess that
That's very much true. And I guess if you would use the option to kind of like pay wire transfer or using the cash through Banka, you would even have the right to vote, actually.
Oh, perfect. Then, but for now, I will.
Yeah.
Okay. Want the fee? I will give the fee.
No, you
But
are an
let me
observer member,
speak.
so
Okay.
as long as you are observer member, you are entitled to speak. So you are definitely entitled to speak, whatever is the case.
Actually, we could have an alternative proposal to the two. Up to now, the proposals have been to uphold the current membership fee of 50 euros and to drop it to 0, giving everyone the right to vote. There is a third alternative that could be to set a symbolic fee of €1 so that people have still, the members have still to provide proof that they are interested, but it's also symbolic fee. It's not a full fee. So, yeah.
So, okay, thank you. Further questions, comments, and so on. Meanwhile, just to clarify, yeah, when we are talking about Florian's proposal that was for waiving the 2021 and older, they do not affect 2022, which are actually affecting the quorum for us. So as long as we are not canceling 2022, it does not affect the quorum. And by the way, as we have just checked, current situation is that we have 63. Okay, the situation changes. So before we had 63% of like voters present. Now I don't know the numbers. So I got money from Pirati.io and I'm going to do the transfer, and therefore I transfer chairing to Flori. And she's not here. Then okay, then I would like to transfer chairing for Anna. You are here. Okay, so.
Sorry, we solved the issue with the sound also, so it's okay. We can hear you very much, and we can hear us very much on the micro. So please come here to talk if you want to talk, and please raise your hand if you want to talk about the situation now. Florian, please.
Please come on. Yeah. So I guess we are set following the discussion to move on to either a formal proposal or to just drop it for the moment and maybe at a later date give this fees issue rolling. So yeah, whichever you prefer, waiving 2021 and earlier fees, or even deciding, as our colleagues from Luxembourg proposed, to waive fees from 2022 and earlier, starting tomorrow, so it doesn't affect our voting powers now. Whatever you prefer. And I think the second motion I'd like to propose is to set the fees to €1 symbolic for 2023. Une motion de plus. Pour le truc à €1. And now we decide what we are doing with the late fees.
Okay.
Either we drop it or we get a formal motion going and we vote, so we can press forward.
Okay.
Not taking too much time.
So we are voting on the fact that we are voting.
We are voting on everything.
Okay.
Everything you want, as long as you want. If you want to vote to confirm the voting powers of the vote and so on.
I don't care. I don't mind. If you want.
We can get voting for a long time.
It has been.
So shall I take over? Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Okay. So if I understand it correctly, the situation, there are two motions. One motion that is setting membership fee for 2023 to 0, and then there are two motions. The second motion which sets the membership fee for 2023 to €1.
I would like to drop the first motion setting the fees to €0 and keep the second motion which sets the fees to €1, please.
Yes. Okay, so I think we have clarified what we are voting about. I guess everybody understands that. So
not clearly, because the initial motion, well, the initial first motion, because it was one of two, is to decide what we are doing with the late fees from 2021 and earlier.
yes, okay, so there are two motions, yeah. One that is one that is setting the this membership fee for 2023 to €1. So I would like to have a vote on that one as first, and then we will deal with the second one. So, is everybody aware of what we are going to vote on? We are voting about the setting membership for 2023 to €1 per vote. Yes, Aspirate.io have paid, and it's it can be seen on the Transparent Banka account that the transfer was done there. Pirati.io are permitted to vote. Veronica? And then Mia.
Sorry, I think the years are a little bit confusing for some of the members. So if we set membership fees for 2023 on €1 for everyone, that means that like during this year, we will collect €1 from everyone, right? Okay.
Yes.
And it's not gonna affect voting on this council at all.
Correct.
Yes, it was just to clarify for questions I had over there, and then we will vote on the further motions.
Yes.
For this year, okay. And just one note that there was an option for anyone at the beginning of the council. There was an option for anyone who is present and has not paid to ask to have their fees waived for 2022, which would allow them to vote on this council, right? So there always is the option to have your fee waived if you are present and you have not paid, so that you can vote. It's just to just to set the stage that the option is always there. If you don't have the money, you don't have the funds. Everyone understands that, it can happen. So you can always ask to have your fees waived for this year or previous year, so that you can vote on the council.
Which I guess we are not pressing Estonia to do anything, but we would like to have the quorum. Yeah.
Well, then, if it's true that each member just pays €1, where does the money come then for the PPU? Please, could anybody tell me, is that not a complete, like loss of, action and power? €1. Why would we not give them the money to pay or transfer the money or help them in other ways? But just €1 per member, that would be how many euros per year income for PPU?
I think something
25?
between 20 and 30.
So now, how do you cope with that?
Well, if I may answer the question, there is currently on the account some 14,000 €14,000, but we have spendings every year, some at least €300 or something like that for the servers. So we are going to, or we are running on deficit in that situation. We will do for some time, and unless we change it, we will went bankrupt. But it will not necessarily happen the next year. This year, yeah. I mean, like we can stay it for a while, but it's not in long term sustainable. Mark Anthony.
Sorry.
Yes, there was
Yeah, Bastian is raising the hand online.
Yes, thank you. It's difficult to see for you, I think. The €1 does not solve your problem. if you minimize the fee for the 2023 to €1, you have the debts not killed. They have not killed the debts. Yeah, the problem is that a lot of members have debts and they have to pay it. And it's very easy. So maybe you can say we minder that fees with a special rate, whatever. But if you say you waive the fees for the past, you have to pay the money back to all the other members who paid their fees. And this is the third time, the third council meeting, you're discussing that members that paid their fees and waived it. That's not the solution. The only solution is that they pay their fees. Maybe it helps for 2023, but it helps not for the past. So you need another motion for that to solve the problem. And it's illegal to do that by the board. You have a statute, and you can't change the statutes now. You have no motion for statutes change. And the board don't assure that you are in this 2/3 majority today. But yet you can count later. Thank you.
Thank you. Mark Anthony, please speak.
Well, thank you, Bastian. But what will happen if we just don't do it? What are you going to do about it? Well, let's continue.
Thank you. Yes, Alessandro, please.
Yes. Could you? Thank you, everyone. Just for sum up, because otherwise we will not move. Please, can you stay silent when I speak, please, or I won't speak. Thank you. So we're not talking about the past. We have a point on agenda that is membership 2023 fees, right? We have a proposal on the table that is the membership fee for 2023 this year. So this not involve this quorum, this membership 2022, this fees collected already, is €1. Can we vote on it and proceed to the next motion, that is waiving or not waiving or double waiving, right? Thank you.
Yes, I guess that was what to be voted. I hope there are no more questions or comments regarding this particular vote. So I would like to put it to the vote. I have not yet received the money for Pirate Party of Estonia. So let's give it. Okay, Flori, I'm transferring to you.
Okay, so I think we will wait until the payment of Estonian. Okay.
I think that if we are gonna have one council meeting per week, we will collect a lot of money.
Oh yeah. If someone wants to speak now about the situation or just speak about the life or the weekend, yes, Michel.
The one thing I don't get at the moment is the €1 fee for 2023. As Veronica mentioned, if somebody wants their fee to be waived so they can vote, they can do that. So I don't really get why we would waive the fees altogether. Like, for example, my party has no problem to pay the 300 and they will be missing in the PPEU budget. So I know what all the servers cost, and it's not cheap to do that. So let's not kill our budget for the next year as well. That's my opinion, and I would definitely abstain if we vote on this one because I don't see the need to do anything like that.
Florian wants to answer. Then Marco.
Yes. I would like to point out that I hear your concerns, and another information we should all have is that our banking account is perfectly fine. We have more than enough to cover 1 year's expenses. So this is only a motion to set fees to €1 for this year, given the exceptional situation while we are sorting things out. That's all.
Okay. I'm taking over the chairing again. For clarification, if you want to abstain on the motion, that does not have an influence on the results, so you need to vote against if you want to block the motion. Secondly, if you want to set the membership fees for 2023 to be €1, but have them higher from 2024, you need to have another motion, because otherwise, according to statutes, they will stay forever the same unless we change them. So if you want to have just for 1 year, like lowering, then you need to pass two motions actually, again raising them for 2024.
Or add in the current motion that the fees have to be re-examined in 2024.
That's automatic procedure according to statutes, that they will be re-examined. That word. Gregory, please. Yeah.
Thank you, Chair. I would like to remember the dear members what we have actually written in Article 13 and the statutes about the membership fees, and that membership fees is required from the ordinate members, but the amount is set annually by the Council on the proposal of the board presented by the Treasurer. The Treasurer will meet up with all the ordinary member parties' treasurers to discuss the obligations of the members' parties in regard to the annual fee in advance to the first council meeting of the year. The ordinary member parties have to hand out the Treasurer a copy of the last annual account in advance of the meeting. And if no agreement can be reached, the member parties will pay the same fee as last year. Membership fees is fixed in euros. They are payable without deduction of incurrent cost. So if we set membership fee for €1, and we will have no agreement next time, it will stay at €1. And actually, the statute says that there can very well be very individual membership fees for different parties according to the finances, and the treasurer can propose a proposal for the budget according to that. So the parties who have no accounts whatsoever, have no income, then can stay at €1 or €0, because even face it, €1 probably will cost more banking transfer fees across Europe than we would actually get any money. So international money transfer is not always free. And so this motion for €1 is actually creates more trouble than just leave it like it and deal with it later. So I would strongly propose to not do that, and instead hope that there will be an individualized, adjusted proposal for the next budget according to the individual member parties' finances, which will work out with their treasurers and presented here in time in the next time. So thank you.
Thank you. Just if I may clarify, the Article 13, paragraph 3 explicitly states that the membership fees will be multiplied by the number of additional and supplementary votes for each member, ordinary member. So you cannot set up the membership fee like voluntarily for each member, whatever you want, but it has to be proportional to the number of votes. And what is very good habit in at least in some of the parties, that if you want to have payment to the membership fee to the international organization, you are expected to provide an invoice. So you can't really like do it randomously. It is very, very well defined process. And of course, if you set the membership fees to €1, you can very much expect that even those parties who have, let's say, a bigger budget will be very reluctant to spend it, because we know the conditions that are appearing in the member parties, and this is perpetual problem, especially for example the one I'm a member of. among others. So, Marco, please. Yeah, and just for the sake of record, I have received a cash payment coming from Estonian Pirate Party, and the transfer was done on the FioBanka account, as you can confirm. So, Estonian Pirate Party is now entitled to vote. Marco.
Okay, so now I guess I have to talk like this, but yeah, thank you very much, Gregory. Yeah, I wanted to answer to your observation that actually is very good, but I think that having a fee of €1 doesn't correspond to have a wire transfer of €1. I mean, an association or a party that is member can still pay its due €1 and, for example, add 49 euros of donation, so that it will be the €1 fee and the donation. So that will allow to have the fee and the funds, even if we already have funds in our account. Probably it wouldn't work everywhere, because I guess that it depends also on the legislation of a country, since in some countries parties have higher, how can I say? Yeah. But yeah, that's also a possibility where possible, let's say.
Okay, are there any more questions, comments, or we can put the motion to the vote? Seems not to be the case. So please, where do I have the pad? Yeah. So I would like to start the vote. Please, I hope you are following me, and I will start from the party which is alphabetically as first, which is the Czech Pirate Party. So we are voting on the motion whether to set the membership fee for €1 to 2023. Are you in favor or against or abstain to this motion? 6 abstentions. Recorded. Estonia. Estonia against. Okay. 1 vote. Finland. Against, 1 vote. France. 1 vote in favor. Germany. Against, 2 votes. Pirated.io. In favor, 1 vote. Luxembourg. Yes, 2 votes. Netherlands. In favor, 1 vote. Poland. So 2 delegates are against, raising 1 vote. Poland is unified. Sweden. 1 vote against. Slovenia. Thank you. Young Pirates of Europe. Okay. MEPs. 2 votes abstention. Young Pirates were abstaining. So now I'm not really sure what is the outcome of the vote. So may I ask the minute takers to calculate the result? So it's 5 times yes, 7 times against, and how many abstentions? 10. Which means the motion has not passed. Okay, now we are about to discuss the second point, second motion, and in that case we are referring back to having membership fees the same as 2021, which means €50 per vote. Yes. 2023 copies the result from 2022, which so it stays at €50. Okay, so the second motion that was regarding the waiving of the debts, so to say. Yeah. Do you want to phrase it?
So the motion proposes to waive debts coming from 2021 and previous exercises. Yeah, to waive these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alessandro?
Thank you, Chair. I have a question for the proposal. What's the purpose of this proposal? Because if we don't touch the 2022 fees for having the quorum today, of course, I agree with all of you, all of us that said that this is legal. We can do it. We can waive it, but this will affect, of course, our budget, meaning that all the outstanding fees for the approved budget for the previous years that because membership fees are in the income part of the budget, right? So if we had all approved budget for the previous year where all this, let's say, outstanding fees are still due. Yes, they are. And we can do it, of course. This means that we have to, in the next budget, drop this sum from the equation. We can do it, but I want to clarify. I need to know what is the purpose. And also, we could have an estimation of how big is this sum. It could be 50 euro or 5,000. This means that this is relevant, I guess the point.
So to clarify the motives behind this proposition, it is to recognize that fees are basically voting rights. And since late fees aren't paid and you didn't exercise your voting rights in previous exercises, we should bury this source of conflict by waiving the fees, basically. That's the idea.
Yes. Okay, thank you. If I may ask you to rephrase the motion as it stays, I would add at the beginning of the sentence, according to Article 14, paragraph 4K. We record it like that. It actually refers that the council can approve all other fundamental decisions of the association, which I think is the only legal base we have in the statutes to actually pass this motion. So that's for like legal assessment how we can do that. I hope it's sufficient. So is everybody aware of what we are voting on? Do we have like the text of the motion? Okay. So that we have not the second part in the minutes for the. Okay. So if I may ask you to text it to phrase it, yeah. According to Article 14, paragraph 4, subparagraph K. The council decides to waive all unpaid fees from 2021 and previous years. So I hope that everybody is aware of what we are voting about. Gregory, there is... Yes, please.
So I have a question to Treasurer. So what would be the consequence if this motion would pass? So how much money in total are we talking about that we're about to waive? And also, is this money, you already told it was incorporated in previous year's budgets. Is this money already been spent on some of those budgets? And now we would have debts in the organization that we would need to counter with future membership fees and raise them then or something like that. So what happened with that money that we have not collected yet? And how much is it?
Okay. Is the treasurer willing to answer the question?
Oh my God. Yeah. Maybe I need some minutes to calculate it exactly, but we have debts in 2021. It means the debts, including 2022, about 4,850 euros. And there had been paid about 750. You can deduct it. And if I calculate it quickly, we losing 3,100 euros. It's just quick calculation. I can make it more exactly in the near future. But that's the money you throw out of the window. I have no. I have a problem with that because you have members who paid their duty, they fulfill their duties, and it slash into the face. I think it's not a good idea to do so. We can negotiate the waiving or whatever with the outstanding membership fees of our members, that we can negotiate it. And then the board can decide individually to that member. We have rich member parties and we have poor member parties. And I think we should take it into account if the board will decide in the future. But to waive all this money, it's not a correct way to handle the money of this organization. Thank you.
Thank you for answering this question. I see a hand risen from Cedric, so please speak. And then Florian. So sorry, it's my
Thank you. So I'm one of the minute takers, and I need to say you two things. One about this thing, and one about the wall meetings. We are around at the midday. We will need to lunch maybe or not, but at this pace, we can't currently go through all the meetings. We need to go further. So be not quick, but be careful about how the time you spend in the discussion. We have no new board right now, so be quick.
Thank you. That's very important. That's very important comment, because otherwise we would get under time pressure when it comes to the lunch. Yep.
Secondly, about this current question, we are speaking about closed exercise. With this all closed exercise, we all acknowledge time to time that the accounts and so on were okay. So we already accept the loss. So this current motion is only to acknowledge the fact that we won't recover the previous fees. No more, no less, just bury the grudge about it.
Florian, and if you don't mind, I would suggest to close the discussion, because I think everybody who wanted to say something on this issue already did, and we are kind of like in the
So
circle.
yeah, I will be quick. I understand the point about this outstanding debt, what we should collect, but how likely are we to collect it? Because how it stands, if we are unable to collect it, this is a permanent source of conflict. This is the spirit of my proposal, just to bury it forever and go from a clean state. I have another suggestion. If you think we are able to collect this debt, maybe give a mandate to the future treasurer for debt restructuring. But I guess we should be dismissed because we could get going for a long time about this. So yeah, just my point is, how likely are we to collect this debt? If we are not likely to collect it, we should simply forget it to erase the source of conflict. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. So with that, I would like to put the motion to the vote. It's on the line 201 in the minutes. So the motion would read, according to Article 14, paragraph 4, subparagraph K, the Council decides to waive all unpaid fees from 2021 and previous years. And I would start the vote by reading the parties in alphabetical order, which means the Czech Pirate Party as the first one. Michal, what is the position?
6 votes yes.
Estonia, Finland. Estonia was explicitly yes. I'm just reading it again for the people online. So Finland was no. 1 vote no. Estonia 1 vote yes. Czechia 6 vote yes. France 1 vote yes. Germany. Parity.io. Okay, no. Luxembourg. 2 votes yes. Netherlands. 1 vote yes. Poland. 1 vote yes. Sweden. 1 vote yes. Slovenia. 1 vote yes. Young Pirates of Europe. 2 votes in favor. MEPs. 2 votes in favor. So I would like to ask the minute takers to write the exact numbers, but I think by means of like optical majority, it's clear yes. Yes, so there were 20 votes in favor, 2 votes against, 0 abstention. The motion is passed. The debts are waived. That's how it works.
This is our government do everywhere, every time, right? Yeah. So now we are in charge. We have power, right?
Yes, we may acknowledge this is a big win for Southern Europe.
Great.
Okay, great. I think we have the next point on the agenda, which is in the finances. Before I let you know. No. I'm not going to allow you to go for lunch before the 5. So first, approval of the budget 2023. Do we have proposal for the budget actually?
Nope.
Well, question should be phrased otherwise. Bastian, the treasurer, do we have a proposal for the budget?
Don't surprise me so quickly. Yes, we have. I can put it in the pad if you give me 1 minute.
Okay, so then prepare the proposal for the budget, and meanwhile, okay, I'll give you the minute. Yes, now there is a point budget 2023. We stick actually to the membership fees, which were same as 2022, which a little bit simplifies the approval of the budget. Generally, we should rewrite the statutes because the way how this process is managed is just like very unfortunate. Because you need to be an oracle to be a treasurer to know what the council will decide for membership fees to be immediately able to provide them a proposal for budget, and you are supposed to do it based on consultation with the members that are supposed to be happening before the meeting, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, I put it in as a link into the minutes. I have no idea whether you can display that there in the meeting room. Otherwise, somebody should use his screen and publish it with a screen. That might be possible.
Okay. So might I ask the operators out?
Yeah, 230.
230. To have just the proposal for the budget on the screen.
Yeah, that's a proposal for the budget, and we have two. It's divided in two plans, and if you want to discuss it, I can explain it.
So at least I'm able to see the PDF. But we have not yet it on the screen. I'm sending it also to council meeting. I see. So whenever you are, we have it on the screen. So whenever you are ready, you may start. You may start presenting the budget.
Okay. You see a plan, an initial plan, and a plan B. Thank you for displaying that. Of course, I'm not an oracle, so I cannot see what the income is. Income is normally our membership fees, and you deducted something from that plan. We have two main costs in the initial plan, the server costs from Czechia and from Germany. They are usually the German cost will donate it, and you have 1,094 about euros for the tech staff, 50 euros are for some things for the office. And maybe you remember that we decided some council meetings before that we want to register our logo with the PPEU-Council. Maybe that costs a lawyer. I have very, very cheap offer from a lawyer for that, and the brand costs 900. You can say we don't need it, but maybe you should let it in because we have an election, and then it's maybe necessary that we have that. We have some very expenses on the initial plan, 1,000 for a council meeting. Maybe you remember that we have one council meeting in last year. So it costs us about 500, so it's not very much. We have to see conferences in the near future was 1,000, and travel cost was 1,500, and we need a reaction reserve for unforeseen things. So I calculate 4,500 for that. So altogether, if you count it all together, we have another point at 6,000. Let's say it's a secretary for PPEU elections. That's a plan we have to fulfill if we want to push the elections. So in this initial plan, I have calculated 12,744.15. Outstanding fees minus 6,000. We deducted it just this 3,100, and very income fees 2,100 for the year 2023. So that's a minus of 4,644.15, and we have a balance now about 14,728, I guess, or 82. So it's about we deduct our amount and think about let's say 5,000 years, so it's 9,000 for the near future. If you don't want this plan, I have a plan B that we did the last year. So we are in, you see the figures there. We have no conferences, we have no travel costs, we have just reduced the action force, we have no secretary. So we have a plus maybe about zero, because we deducted our outstanding fees about 3,000 euros. So that's easy to understand, I think. Your decision, your political decision is if we wanna have at one point a secretary. That means that I think to organize the PPU elections, to support the PPU elections, is most important for our members that we have a good result in the PPU elections, even for Germany. Then I think it's a good idea to have a secretary, and you have to pay the secretary. It's not fair to have it all on freelancers and or people who aren't unpaid for that. And I think it's a good idea to have a little loan in a month. But here to your decision, you need travel costs. I think it's not fair to say you have to pay everything out of your own pocket. And maybe we have one or two conferences for the PPU movement. That was my plan, and that's all I think I have to explain now. And I'm waiting your questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much for preparing the budget. It's really great. We have two options. Let's say more spending in spite of the election campaign, which is called initial. You see on the left side, and one which is a bit more conservative, which is called Plan B on the right side. With that, I thank you very much, and I'm opening the discussion about the budget. Cedric.
So thank you for the proposition. I've got one question about the line of the council meetings budget. It said that it's already only 1,000 euros, and it's about council meetings about 2023 and 2024. My main question is, it will be contained the budget for this present meeting, or are we providing the money that the PPU spent a bit for this venue is in the before budget? Because the board during the year 2022 votes in favor to spend 2,000 euros on this venue. So if it's in the current proposition of the budget, there is a lack of around 1,000 euros, and we won't be able to make no other meeting in presential way.
May I answer?
Yeah.
It's a question to here. Okay. That's the council meeting calculated for 2023 and 2024. We need another council meeting in 2023, and we need another council meeting in 2024. It's each 500. The others council meetings are normally online. That costs us nothing. If I'm right, you offered, the French Pirate Party offered the friendly things that they want to sponsor that council meeting this day. And if I'm right, that was about 2,000 euros. And Nicolas asked the French Pirates several times if it's enough. Do you need more money? And we got the answer, yes, it is okay. You need no money, it's all fixed. If you are in debt now, I think it's a decision of the next board to give you some kind of amount for that council meeting today, but not calculable in the budget, because we always have a problem that we have a plan, and if you don't stick to the plan, we get in trouble with everything. So I think it's your decision. You can hire that various expenses, council meetings, 23, 24, about 1,000. I don't care, but it's your money and you have decided by yourselves. And please take into account that we had a nice offer provided by French Pirates to sponsor that meeting. Otherwise, we should do it online or whatever. But that was the idea, and that's you have to discuss. But it's not the part for the treasurer. Thank you.
So I need to rephrase my question. The board, according 2,000 euros to this venue, it is part of the budget of 2022, or it may be in the budget of 2023, or to be paid because we are bound by the board decision. There is no problem from PPFR. We are out of debt. Don't worry about that. But if we need to pay from the PPEU the 2,000 euros from the 2023 budget, already with your proposition, we can't. That's all the point. There is no problem with debt and so on. It's only in which budget we will take the money from.
Yeah, sorry, my answer was not clear enough. Okay, we spent 500 euros for the last council meeting. That was in the last budget. In this budget 2023, calculated 500 euros for a council meeting and for the next council meeting 2024, because you need the money prior to the council meeting. It's not a good idea to make budget after council meeting. So yes, we have in this budget we have 500 euros about for 2023 for council meetings. And what you're doing, or what the board is doing with that amount, is up to the board, to the new board.
So, to resume, we have currently a problem. Sorry.
I'm actually checking the. Thank you, Florian. Please speak.
So, I think there is a lot to say about this budget. At first, I would like us here to acknowledge that the board didn't approve any financial statement for 2022. They didn't approve any budget for 2023. And based on the statutes, this budget is not regular. It should have been presented and discussed at least 2 weeks before the council meeting. So, considering all this, I think it will be better to mandate the next board to present a budget as soon as possible in a later council meeting. As far as I know, I'm losing my English. There aren't any urgent expenses to be made. We can easily wait 1 or 2 months. And yeah, basically, this is my point of view, given that I've worked and reviewed as many documents as possible. These budget proposals don't have a very solid ground, given the observed expenses of previous exercises. I would like also to point out, sorry, I'm getting tired, but we have been refused somehow access to the financial documents and invoices. So there is even more shadow or doubts to cast on this proposal for the budget. So yeah, baseline, the board doesn't approve any budget to be presented today. This is presented long after the deadline. And I think it will be better to adopt a motion mandating the next board to present a budget as soon as possible. Thanks.
Thank you. Meanwhile, I have checked the minutes from the board meetings, and on the 13th of December 2022, there was a motion passed in the board approving the contribution of the European Pirate Party to this venue. As it was passed in 2022, I expect that implicitly it includes that the budget, the respective budget to pay this contribution for this conference is 2022. That was approved in 2021 and can be and still should be used to pay this venue. So I hope the European Pirate Party shall not stay in debt towards the French Pirate Party in respect with that, even whatsoever happens with this particular budget for 2023, because the budget 2022 shall cover it. And I see hand raising from Bastian.
Yes, you're right, because I said, yeah, we have 500 euros for this meeting, yeah, and because the other 500 euros are spent in 2022. But it's not the case. It's not the problem. The French colleague is right. The board does not approve the budget, of course, because we had several meetings, and I insist that, and of course, MEP insists on preparing and providing a budget. Right, and I did it, and you wanna hear it. You wanna vote on it in the last board meeting. Then it's your problem, guys, not my problem. But we can do that. What we did in, I think, last council meeting or council meeting before, we can vote on a provisional budget. Why is it not necessary? If we won't vote on a budget today, we have to stop every single outgoing money for anything, because we are not allowed to spend any euro in the near future until the next council meeting will vote on a budget. So it's an easy question you have to decide. If you have a provisional budget, you can pay invoices on a fair basis until the next council meeting, and then you can fix the problem. And it's a duty by the board to provide a budget, and there's no need to remind it. But the problem. The former or the board is acting today as a problem by them. Maybe we have a better board in the near future. But please vote on a budget that we have money to spend. Otherwise, we have to stop any costs, any outgoing money for the future. Thank you.
Alessandro.
Yes, thank you, Chair. I would like to just to sum up, because otherwise we are getting loose. So there are, as far as understood, the two proposals. The one from Bastian that presented Plan A and Plan B, and the one from Florian that would like to postpone proper budget approval for the next council meeting online in June, to be fulfilled by the next board. This is regarding budget 2023, right? Mm-hmm. And then we are talking about refunding as a PPU the Pirate Party of France for this council meeting. So if I understood correctly from Cedric, they're not in any hurry. So if they're not in bankrupt, this is not to avoid any kind of conflict. We can for sure do it in the 2023 budget. So I think that even though I personally think that we already approved as a board that this expended are already set for the 2022 approved budget. Approved, not reported, right? So I think that we should decide what to do with these two things separately because they're not the same thing, right?
Okay, if I may continue on that, the payment to French Pirate Party is anyway approved by both the council and the board and will happen. We don't need to deal with that again. When it comes to the budget 2023, I think we have two options: either decide today or at the next council meeting. Therefore, I would like to ask you for a first, let's say, optical majority, which option you prefer, because we are a bit in a rush to finalize some things before the lunch. So who would prefer to approve the budget today? Please raise your hands just to give me an impression. See, Czech, Germans, Poles. Who would rather postpone it to the next council meeting? French, Dutch, Swedish, Luxembourgish, Italians, Finnish, Slovenians. That will be probably okay. Seems that probably the majority is for postponement. So I'm putting a motion to the vote. Please, who is in favor to postpone the decision on the budget 2023 to the next council meeting? So this is the motion that would be put to the vote. Yeah, I think we will pass this one, but that's just like a first assumption. So postponing this budget discussion to the next meeting. Czech Pirate Party.
6 abstentions.
6 abstentions. Yeah. Estonia. Abstain. Finland. In favor. 1 vote. France. 1 for in favor of postponing. Germany. Abstain. Pirate.io. In favor, 1 vote. Luxembourg. In favor, 2 votes. Netherlands. 1 vote in favor. Poland. In favor, 1 vote. Sweden. 1 vote in favor. Slovenia. 1 vote in favor. Young Pirates of Europe. Not present currently. MEPs. 2 votes in favor. So as I think there is a clear majority of at least 11 yes, no, 0 no's, and there were 9 abstentions, and one was not cast. So with that, we postpone the discussion to the next meeting, and as currently one member has. One delegate has left us. We have not the quorum for the next point on the agenda. No, we need a quorum for status changes, and that's exactly happening. Cedric, lunch will break us the quorum, and we will hate that person because like blocked decision making. With that, I would like to wish you very. Enjoy your meal and return here at 2 o'clock sharply. 1:30. Okay, 1:30. So, okay, then let's do it.
40 minutes. 1:40.
So.
1:40.
So we have quorum back, yeah? So shall we do it now or shall we postpone?
Good now, yes.
Now. So please lock the room. Nobody is allowed to leave. So there is a motion for changes of the statutes to allow non-pirate parties to become full members of the association. We have discussed that previously in 2 consecutive council meetings. Unfortunately, we have not been able to establish the quorum. So we really need you to establish that. Why do we need that? The reason is that for registration of the European Pirate Party as European political party, we need those members who will be representing it and who will deliver on this quorum of 7 countries represented either on national, European or regional level, we need for them to have full access to decision making. Which means if such a party participates in our organization only as an observer member, European Organization for Political Parties and Associations will not consider them to the total number of representatives. That's very first argument why to do so. The second argument why to do so is that we have very much very nice guests here coming from the alternative ed. We have had a lot of nice talks with the people from Hungarian two-tailed dog party who has already become our observer member. And speaking on behalf of myself as well as of hopefully many of other pirates, we would like to see them as full members of our association. Unfortunately, as you probably recognize, those parties are not named using the word pirates in the name of their associations. So should we admit, or should we like to admit them as full member of our organization, we need to change our statutes. And therefore, we are coming to that point. We need to pass this motion, should it happen, and we need to have present 2/3 of the delegates to be here. With that, I'm opening the discussion. The motion is in the Wikipedia.
I mentioned it already last time in Brussels that PPI doesn't have this requirement and it works perfectly for us. So I'm convinced it will work perfectly for the PPU as well.
Yes, on the procedure, we have already approved similar motion changing the statutes for the observer members that allowed actually the two-tailed dog party to become observer member of the association. So we have already done this change for observer members, not yet for the full members. So are there any more questions, comments, or proposals?
There's just a very small non-blocking problem. Or there are, in paragraph 2J, there are two bears. To bear the pirate logo. Unless that's is that okay? Can we then change that? Okay, perfect.
I guess please copy the motion to the minutes and correct that in the minute pad. Please speak.
Just an explanation of vote. I think the argument that you can't do something because of a self-made rule is absolutely, well, some stupid word. So let's forget that rule. I mean, I'm not in favor of parties with another name. I'm not, but I'm in favor that I can decide on facts and not on self-made rules. So that's an explanation of the vote.
Thank you very much. I guess we have seen the procedure of admitting of the new full member today when it happened with parity.io. So as you may recognize, the whole assembly is still in the power to decide about each and every newcomer individually. So the simple fact that we change the statutes and relieve this obligation doesn't necessarily mean automatic admission for any party. We will still, on case-by-case basis, decide about every single newcomer. Okay, are there any more questions, comments, or proposals? Okay, seems not to be the case. So I would like to put the motion to the vote. Please keep in mind we are talking about change of the statutes. We are in practice talking about a change of Article 7, paragraph 1, where we want to delete the the subparagraph C and change of the paragraph 2 where we add a requirement to include pirate logo in a visible manner. So with that, I would like to put the motion into vote in an alphabetical order, reading the voting parties. Czech Pirate Party. Estonia. So Czech Pirate Party 6 times yes. Estonia 1 time no. 1 time yes. 1 time yes. Sorry. Sorry. I'm already confused. Finland. 1 vote yes. France. 1 vote yes. Germany. 2 votes yes. Thank you. Pirate.io. 1 vote yes. Luxembourg. 2 votes yes. Netherlands. 1 vote yes. Poland. 1 vote yes. Sweden. 1 vote yes. Slovenia. 1 vote yes. Young Pirates of Europe. 2 votes in favor. MEPs. Yes. With that, I assume the motion is unanimously passed. So we have changed our statutes to be able to admit the new parties without the name pirates in their name.
And now we can go eating.
Yes, precisely. So 2:30.
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock
Okay.
here.
So 2 o'clock here.
2 o'clock
please-
here.
Yes, 2 o'clock here. Please be sharp. We will be starting with the discussion of the Common European Election Program. That's fine. Okay, that's probably not that
make it rock. Now if the system's on and the girls are there, you definitely have a rockin' affair. But let me tell you something, there's still one fact that to have a party, got to have a rap.